Good morning, everyone. Welcome into our Saturday morning coaches show. I'm Don Julian, and once again we have David Carrillo with us, or at least a shell of David Carrillo here. He says mine's still at home somewhere, but David's here today.
Yes.
We're always glad to have him. Even on his worst days, he's better than most of us, so he's doing real well today, especially after the Lady Cats won their regional quarterfinal series against Huntsville last night in Rusk. First trip there for me, and also Coach Carrillo, I believe, said he had never played there before. And so strangers in a strange land, but we came out with the big 7-5 win. That was a game that went right down to the end there with both teams slugging away, and it was just one of those nights, and the Lady Cats come out on top with some strong hitting on their own. So we'll be talking about that, and it is the only game in town really right now, with everything else wrapped up. And so great times for the Lady Cats. Had a great send-off, by the way. The parents and grandparents, I guess, or team fans all got together and decided to do something like that, and got the attention of the city of Sulphur Springs, had a police escort. There was a big fire truck there that was making a lot of noise, and EMS had seveul vehicles there, and gave them a little escort out to the city limits, and then said wave bye, I guess, over there on 154, and the Lady Cats went on up to Rusk and took care of the business at hand there at a real nice facility. Everything artificial turf, had football stadium, baseball field, softball field. So Lady Cats with a 7-5 win. And Coach, what were your thoughts on that 7-5 ball game?
Well, first of all, on the send-off, what an amazing thing for our kids. They loved it. And I'd like to thank Meredith Cadell. I'm sure she had a lot to do with some of that stuff.
Sure she did.
She is I just give her a title of executive, because she knows how to get things done, and she gets it figured out. And again, we're very blessed to have her as a softball parent. Who she does a lot for us, and she kind of does things behind the scenes, and very blessed and thankful for her again. But our girls loved that send-off. It was amazing, and having it twice, it was just it made our kids feel good, and it made their hearts full, because they did, like I said, they deserve everything they're getting this season. They worked hard, they battled hard, and again, for the community to support them like they're doing, it was just amazing, just to be on that bus and see all the little kiddos and see everybody and the people just out there cheering on the Lady Cats. And like I said, they were very excited, and we're excited to be playing, and feel very blessed to be where we're at right now.
Yeah, it was kind of a Star Trek moment last night in my mind, because as they used to say on the old show, that they were out there going where no man had ever been before. Well, the Lady Cats have now gone where we're pretty sure about this, where no Lady Cat softball team has ever gone before. They have made it into the regional semifinals.
Yes, I believe Coach McCullough, when he was here, I think they went twice to the third round, and then we made it 4 times since I've been here, and then this was the 5th time was a charm, I guess. But yes, we're definitely in the land of no return right now. We're very excited, though, like I said, to be that close to get to Austin. We really never had talked about that before, except the last couple of weeks I've actually started mentioning about it, because to me, if you can't see it, you can't be it, and you got to have that vision. And when I looked at the bracket and saw the teams that were there, I felt really good about our chances, because we played with the Hallsvilles, and we can play with the rest of the teams in our region. There's 4 left, so the opportunity's there. And I told them, you got to chase it, because you don't never know. We're not going to get in. Seniors are not going to get another chance, and the rest of them, you never know, or when you're going to get back here or back there. I look at just certain teams and certain things, but we have been very blessed to get to the point where we were in the regional quarterfinals. I think this makes 4 years in a row, minus the COVID. But
Sure.
Our girls, this group right here, they're just so resilient. Talking to you earlier, I remember back with the tournament season, we came back like twice from just being, actually I think 3 times, where we were just getting hammered, and we come back in the last inning or come back with the last 2 innings, and those girls just figure it out. I mean, sometimes it's not pretty. We just figure it out and get it done. But I'm telling you, to be 28-3, sitting in the regional semifinals and having an opportunity to be 1 game away to playing for a state, to go to state, heck, it's just been amazing. It's just been, it's like a dream. Yeah, we haven't woke up yet, but it's been an enjoyable ride, and our kids are enjoying every minute of it. And I'm very thankful for the kids I have. I'm very thankful for the way they've come together. And I mean, it goes from the players that don't get to play as much to the players that do play. They're all been getting after it in the dugout and just having fun and enjoying the moment. And that's what I told them, because these things, you never know when it's going to end sometime. But this year, right now, we're going to ride it as far as we can and enjoy every bit of it, because we're making history right now.
Absolutely. And we're talking about so many things new and different, but when we look at what's coming up the next week, a very familiar foe, Lovejoy. It seemed like, 4 or 5 times we played them in the playoffs.
Can't get rid of them. They just always kind of lurking around. But
resilient, and so that's. I know you've had some conversation. I guess that details to be ironed out.
Yes,
everything's still working on that.
Yeah, I was just sitting at home about midnight, and they texted me his number. I texted him back then at that night, and we've kind of got some preliminary things already settled. I just know it's going to be a series. And the days is what we're trying to figure out in the place, and I'm hopefully we'll get that settled in pretty quick. But we'll find. It's either going to be Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday of next week.
All right.
I know that for sure, and we're looking for site right now and waiting for confirmation on site. So other than that, that's what it's going to be, and we're going to get ready and get after it. And like I said, we're making history, and we're enjoying every moment of it.
Rain in the forecast, a lot of that coming up next week, so you got to play that dance too.
Yes, and that's another thing. I could win the flip or something for Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and not be able to play on Wednesday and have to move it to Thursday. So, we just got to be very flexible, and our kids have got to be very flexible, because we're at the mercy of the weather. And, I hate that, but that's just the way it goes. I wish it would just go away. But it's here. We got to deal with it, and both teams have to deal with it. So we'll both be looking at it and playing it by ear next week.
Lots of artificial fields out there, so you don't worry quite as much about wet ground and that sort of thing. I mean, a wet artificial turf is one thing, but the old lightning, that's the thing that can really get you at these games.
Yes,
because you can't fight that.
No, and you can. We always laugh because when we've been to Barstow the last couple of times, even with the first round playoff game, it's rain. It seems like we brought the rain or the mist. I'm hoping this week will not be like that. That we'll have a good clean break where we don't have to worry about the misty rain or anything like that. And got to play through it because both teams. I mean, the last 4 teams that are left in the region, we're good. I mean, we wouldn't be here if we weren't. But just to have the opportunity to play, you want it. As the best conditions as you could have it. For both teams. So that's that being said, we're looking forward to the opportunity and just get this stuff figured out and get ready to roll.
Yeah, let's talk about the other teams still alive. And believe it or not, one of those is Hallsville. So 4 teams left in this region, and 2 of them are from District 15 5A. And the district, just like David said, really acquitted itself well. Texas High took a game off that Huntsville team before they finally got beat out. I guess back in By District. And so every team playing very, very well. Mount Pleasant gave Royce City, I think, a real battle. And
I'm not sure what district it is, but we're playing the second place team in that district, and Prosper is the first place team.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's just 2 districts left. So it's just amazing that we're both here at the end. So we'll see how that goes. One of the districts are going to show out. We'll figure out which one. I would love for it to be playing Hallsville again because, again, they're friends. And, if we get that far, it's amazing. And it's just a good story. And can you imagine if we can get past this one and we play Hallsville, it's going to be crazy that week. So.
It kind of reminds me of the last time in the playoffs we played them, but I'll skip over that because I don't want David would wake up quick if we start talking about
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I was sitting there thinking that the game 1 in Huntsville with that bad call with Crimson catching that ball down the line, and she did catch it, by the way. I saw pictures. Yeah. So those things, but it's hard sometimes. Umpires are gonna make mistakes. You just hate it when they're in the big games and they're at crucial times, and that's my most frustrating thing, but I'm not going to get into that. But like I said, it does get frustrating as a coach because I know, we're held accountable for the things that we do, and sometimes I just feel like we just need to do a better job sometimes at doing what we're doing in our jobs, and even being a coach or out there on the field. You got one job, you got to get it done.
All right, we'll tear into the Huntsville victory last night after this first internal break. Back in a moment. And back here on Saturday morning coaches show, we don't get to see some of the chaos that goes on during the break, but David Carrillo was just negotiating with somebody for a field for the playoffs. So his phone will be ringing up, lighting up here because he's a popular guy now with at working out the details of all these things. These things don't just happen. And they require great planning and to get everything done. So it's an exciting time, but it's also can be a little bit of a stressful time trying to cross the T's and dot all the I's to get these games played. Okay, last night, regional quarterfinal series versus Huntsville. The Lady Cats had won that pitchers duel on Wednesday, 1-0. This a completely different kind of game. The Lady Cats, according to Game Changer, and I'll go with that, I think we had 7 hits. Huntsville had 8 hits. And but very timely hits, and the ball was leaving the yard in several occasions. And we'll just start out with the very first Lady Cat run. There was a night for the Mighty Mites.
Yes.
2 of the smallest members of the Lady Cats team. But as I told my brother, as one of them was rounding the bases, and it's an old cliche, but some dynamite comes in small packages, and the dynamite went off in the second inning. Nicole Higgins hits the ball that bounces on the top of the fence and then bounces off and goes out.
Yes, she's done that twice already. I want to say I think she did it at Mount Pleasant too, or I can't remember, but she's done it twice. I know that this year. I can't remember where, but that one, when I saw it hit the top of the thing, I'm thinking, please don't come in, please don't come in. I just saw it just leave the back of the fence. I didn't see the ball anymore. But Nicole, what a godsend she's been. You know, she's a freshman, moved in from California, and again, she's fit well with our team. And the little Mighty Mites, I mean, Harper gets hers too, and they're just blasting them away. And you know, I was over there joking around. They're going to test them for steroids. You know, with these little Mighty Mites, they can put it down, and then when they get a hold of it, they can crank it. And it's exciting that they're both. You know, Jaden's a sophomore and Nicole's a freshman. So you know, we're going to have them a while, and I see great things from both of those girls. You know, for the next few years. So we're very excited to have them. But what a way to start that, because we needed that run. Yeah. Because I think we kind of felt like, you know, we had to manufacture that run in the 8th inning, you know, the game 1, you know, with that walk. And then, I just want to bring back game 1. And then Addison Cadell comes through with a great bunt to move the person over to second. And then, of course, Crimson Bryant gets the hit down the line, the double, to score that 1 run. And we're 1-0 game 1. And that was really all the fireworks. You know, we had bases loaded also, and we just couldn't get them in. So going into game 2, we needed a spark like that. And Nicole gave us that spark, because I felt like going into this game, on game 2, that we were going to hit her better, we were going to score some more runs, and I felt too that they would hit the ball better. It's just the way it goes. It seems like game 2 is always different than game 1. You know, you kind of have a little pitcher's duel, and then you kind of score some runs, but you know, we were able to manufacture more runs than they were.
We'll back up at game 1 a little bit, since you know, it's been a week since you've been here, so we didn't, or I didn't have a chance to talk to you after that game 1, but we talk about Crimson Bryant's shot down that, and it was a slicing ball. And do you realize how close that was to being the foul ball?
Yes.
It caught the line, but I understand it barely caught the line.
Yes, Coach Dorner told me. She was sitting at first base coach. She goes, we were, you know, that's favor. I mean, those are things that just happen. You got to have those things happen, and there you go. You know, but then I also look at the one where we almost got jacked around when Crimson caught that ball down third base line. You know, we got out of that. So, you know, that was a scary time, because they could have scored, and they gave that runner to second. You know, if they scored, got a hit, it could have been 2-0, and we're sitting over there trying to score 2 runs. So again, that's just luck and favor that we had. And you know, this is the playoffs, and you got to have a little bit of that to keep on going. But you know, what a game 1. And then, like I said, game 2, we're sitting over there. It was a fight. You know, we were getting after it, both teams. It was a slugfest. You know, even though we had some leads, I still knew that they were a very good hitting team, and they had some very good hitters on their team. So, you know, we were on edge till it was over.
Yeah, and Higgins also had a double. She had 2 hits and 2 extra base hits, so quite a night for her. And that, and you alluded to Jaden Harper, the 2-run homer. I remember doing a soccer game, and Greg Owens poked his head in, And he said, "Did you hear about Harper on the softball team?" He said, "She's that leadoff hitter, not big at all." Said she hit a 3-run homer or something, and he was really excited about that. And there's something about those mighty mites when they get a hold of it and that ball leaves the yard. It's exciting. I mean, it is for anybody, but that was another big blast, 2-run homer.
Yeah, they're two. I don't know if they're 100 pounds soaking wet, but they can hit the ball. And like I said, when they get a hold of it, they get a hold of it. So, like I said, being as young as they are, we're excited to have them. They're just good, and those kids are great kids too. They work hard playing softball all the time.
Yeah, no, Harper actually had 3 RBIs because
Yes.
she had another. I think she had a fielder's choice that they went and got a player out, but on that play, a run did come in and score.
Yes.
And so 3 RBIs for her.
Yes.
So that was really, really big. And now that at that point, it was a 3-1 game. They really tightened it up to 3-2, but then came a big 5th inning, and their pitcher had a little bit of trouble fielding her position. She had a couple of tough chances and was not able to make them. There were a couple of errors in the inning, and also a walk mixed in, and the bases were loaded basically with just a walk and a couple of errors. And then Nyla Lindley, who really had kind of had a hard time hitting the ball lately, but she looked like herself last night.
Yes.
And Nyla had a big RBI single, and I think she had a couple of hits. Yeah, she scored 3 runs.
Yes.
She's exciting on the bases, but 2 hits, RBI, and 2 stolen bases. Wow,
Yeah,
good night for Nyla.
I had a good talk with her, during our team meal, and I said a prayer for her just to have some peace about herself, just enjoy the moment. I think sometimes you can get caught up on the big stage and put a lot of pressure on yourself, and I feel like that's where she was at. But she really settled in yesterday and had a great game like we expected her to. She's been great for us all year, and we expected. I think sometimes again you put pressure on yourself, and I think that's where she was at. But I think she settled down last night. And I told her, hey, you're a senior, enjoy the ride. This is amazing. This is fun. This should be fun for you. And it's even going to be more fun. I don't know if funner is a word, but it'll be more funner next week. So it's just, hey, we're just going to continue to get after it, and that's what we're trying to get our kids to relax. And for the most part, I feel like we are pretty relaxed as a group. But again, Nala was one that I think put a lot of pressure on herself because, Nala expects perfection, and that's just how she is. She's just driven, very competitive, and I feel like she was able to settle down last night and get some things done.
Absolutely, and then she also scored a big insurance run. The 7th run, it was after that inning we talked about. It was 6-3, and again she got a single, stole a base, and ends up there was a wild pitch I think mixed in there, and Addison Cadell,
Yeah.
You've referred to this before. She hits it off the wall, gets a single because it was hit so hard.
Yes.
But Nala comes in.
That run, when Addison got that run in, I felt good about everything because we needed that run. And that was really big. See, Addison's done, like I said, game 1 with the bunt just to move her over. In my mind, I was thinking I was going to take one shot at it because Addison's been hitting the ball well.
Yeah.
It's just game 1, I just had a hunch, get her to second, get her in scoring position, and Crimson came through. And this time Addison comes through to give us that extra insurance run, which I felt very good about after she got it because I started thinking of what they had in the order. And even though it did get a little tight at the end, I still felt we could get out of it, that there was no way they were going to be able to score that many runs with that extra run that we had, and it made it 7-5. So it kind of gave us a little cushion at the end. But now, if I was going to tell you that I was calm through the whole process, I would be lying. It was stressful, but we got it done.
Yeah, I remember Addison in that Crandall series. Many times she would come up with runner in scoring position, and she just came through every time
Yes,
with a base hit
yes.
drive that run in, and those are the kind of big hits you always remember.
Yes, and like I said, Addison at the beginning of the year kind of struggled a little bit, and one of those I think she put too much pressure on herself, but she just decided she went with her dad in the cages, spent a lot of extra time doing things and working herself through it, and one day I went over there and I noticed she was smoking the ball. I said, okay, you graduated, you go, because I moved her down in the lineup. I said, you're back to 4. And she ain't gave up at that 4 slot yet. So she's been good where she's been at right there, and she's been steady for us.
All right, so then went into the last inning. and Huntsville start hitting the ball, I mean, their season is on the line. They lose, and they're done. And so they're fighting back like a good opponent always will, and got to within 7-5. They have the tying run come to the plate. Here's their number 4 hitter. She hadn't had a particularly great night, but you just never know, when a player will hit one. And she gets up there, hits a foul ball, and your catcher goes right back there and just picks it right out of the net or something.
It was close to that net.
Yeah.
Just again, favor, just awesome. Because I thought, please don't hit that net. And Anna E just went back there and fielded that last out. And man, what a celebration after that. It was really good. But that's just the number 4 hitter is very good. Going through that inning, I was hoping we would, because I knew we were at 8-9-1. We got 8 and 9 out, and then we kind of struggled a little bit. But we were kind of stuck because you had runners on first and second, and if I had a hole or something open, we could actually maybe have walked 4. But then you're dealing with 5 who smoked that home run, so we were kind of stuck right there. And Crimson was going to have to get it done, and she did. And we're very blessed and to come out there with a 7-5 win right there.
All right, one of those games, and when you make a journey like this, you're always going to remember. I remember going back to the state run for the Wildcats football team, and you can think about games like Rockwall Heath that they had, where they come out with a 53-48 win or something, and that's a lot of adversity going on against you, but just have to overcome all that stuff, and it makes the journey more special. Sometime, I mean, if everything was easy, it's just not that way. You see any team that's a championship team, and they have to overcome quite a bit to get to the finish line. And so the journey continues for the Lady Cats. Let's take another break here. We'll be back with more right after this. And back here on Saturday Morning Coaches Show with Lady Cats coach David Carrillo. Lady Cats win their way into the regional semifinals, be playing Lovejoy, and details. It's either going to be, I think Coach said, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and still trying to figure out where that might take place. So negotiations will continue, and just as soon as everything is firmed up, we will let you know. And certainly Lovejoy, the kind of team that we've seen a lot of. It seems like about maybe 4 times, I'm thinking, over the years, going back probably to 13 or something way back then. We've had some classic battles with them. We got the best of them last time. Seemed like we polished them off pretty easy back in 18. A really strong team, a team that stayed together for a long time and got it done there. Finally, taking that monkey off our back from Lovejoy, which had been a very difficult opponent. But we have them again, and with maybe more at stake than we've ever seen. It seemed like we usually met them in a by-district or something like that, or maybe area. But anyway, a big series coming up, and then Hallsville playing Prosper Rock Hill in the other side of the regional bracket, and with trying to earn a trip to state, and so that would be very, very special. But you got to take them one at a time, and up next is Lovejoy. And we talked a lot about the hitters coach, and Crimson Bryant kind of toughed one out last night, and it's not kind of one of her traditional 15 strikeout games. I think 4 strikeouts, but just a couple of walks. She didn't walk many, and got an extremely large number of pop-ups where they just couldn't get a real good piece of the ball. But sometimes you just have to tough it out. Out there and get it done.
Hey, Crimson went out there. Like I said, she was having some back spasms and her back was really tight, and but she gutted it up and got it done. And she's just tough kid. She's going to get after it and give you everything she has, and it felt good offensively to support her to get those 7 runs. Right there, because if I'm pitching, you feel like really good when you got some run support, and we were able to do that last night, which of course is very important because we were down, like I said, going game 1. Who knew we would score 7, but who knew they would score 5? It was a pitcher's duel, and then it was just a totally different game 2. But Crimson had to suck it up, and she did. And I'm very proud of her. Very competitive young lady, and like I said, every time I talked to her or whatever, she was calm, she was cool, collective. She just, yes sir, let's go, yes sir, let's go. So she had to go through some things last night, but that just gonna make her stronger, make her better, because she's gonna realize she could gut through some of that stuff. And really, to be honest with you, I had no doubt that she could. I mean, there was no doubt that she wouldn't be able to. So again, my hat's off to Crimson and to our team, for being able to give her the run support she needed to win that game and advance.
The first night, from looking in the stands, it seemed hard to try to figure out exactly what the strike zone was. It was kind of jumping around out there.
Yeah.
But last night, a really different game, but was, from your opinion, was it a much smaller and tighter kind of
I think
zone?
it was a tighter strike zone. It's just hard to deal with sometimes. Like I said, you're dealing with, game one, you didn't know what to call. I mean, Coach Dorner, we talked about it. It's hard to call a game when the strike zone is everywhere, and then when you can get it one time and not get it another time. And it was that way for both teams.
Oh yeah,
it was bad for both. And then last night was a little bit tighter for both teams, and he was a little bit different. And you just got to adjust, because you don't never know who's going to be behind the plate, and it's judgment calls on what a strike zone is, and you got to find out what their strike zone is. And sometimes it benefits the batter, because it is a small zone, and he's not going to give you much on the outside of the plate or inside the plate. So you have to deal with it, and you have to adjust as a pitcher. And I thought last night's zone was a little bit tighter. That's why you saw the runs that got scored, because you were either going to walk or you were going to hit, because you're going to get a pitch to hit, because you had to put it more into the zone.
Over the plate,
That's
really.
right.
Had to bring it in there. Now you hate to do that as a pitcher.
Yeah.
A big fat pitch over the plate can go a long way. I thought, especially maybe in the last inning, I really, I didn't quarrel with the ump very much. Being a fan up there, it's easy to sit up in the stands and argue about where the calls are and all that. But I thought, especially, sometimes you think the umpire's going to say, now you're going to really have to earn it now,
Yes.
I'm not giving you anything. You're going to have to throw true strikes, and I'm going to be – and I thought there was that walk in the inning that, kind of got things going. And I just, it looked like a couple of those pitches. And, of course, the fans are wanting everything. And from both ways. I mean, Huntsville was carping about, their pitches too, that they thought were strikes. That's just the way of the fan. I've been to some games before when, the first or second pitch and the fans are already lighting into the umpire. It's going to be a long day, folks. But, that's for overall, a pretty well called game last night. Now, there was an incident, you may explain this, where we laid down a bunt or something. The bat got near the ball.
They said it double hit the bat, and I didn't see it, but I hadn't really looked at it again because, heck, it's been a whirlwind since that game was over. But I argued it. Nobody.
And they did have a meeting.
Yes,
they talked about what everybody
third
saw.
base guy, I get it. He was watching the runner at third, making sure she wasn't leaving early, so he couldn't see it. It was probably going to have to come down from the first baseline, and I guess he didn't see it because I didn't walk out there like I did the night before to go see what was going on. So I kind of stayed put. But, judgment call, it is what it is. I didn't think it double hit the bat, but it,
And the bat kind of, I didn't know if because he was on the field, kind of in the field of play.
No, just he thought the ball hit the bat twice.
Yeah, hit the bat twice.
That's what he thought, but I didn't see it. And like I said, I don't know. It could have. I've been just relishing in the 7-5 win. Didn't go back that far. Now, if we had lost, I probably would have went back there. But there was a lot of things I think in that series that could have gone either way, and there were judgment calls. And for the most part, we didn't get hurt by them, but at the time it could have been bad. But we just worked through them. Even last night, I do agree with you in the seventh. I think his zone got a little bit tighter, and I was sitting over there thinking, we've got to get this out somehow. And what a blessing it was when I seen that pop fly again. Like I said, I was just thinking, please don't hit that net. And Ani went over there and got it, and that ended the game. And
And we've talked before that she is an excellent defensive catcher.
Yes.
She just really, I like the way she frames the ball and catches those crimson pitches, which are coming in there at warp speed. It will keep our Star Trek theme going here.
And, we expect a lot out of Anna E. Right now we're batting for her and have a DP, but Anna E's going to bat next year. We're going to
really?
get, she's not a bad hitter. She just needs, we need to get her going, and I've had freshmen that been DP'd for, and then the next year they go bat. And we want Anna E to be a hitter, and we expect her to be a good hitter next year. But the thing with Anna E is we were trying to figure out with our, at the time we didn't know everything that was going on, and Anna E had played volleyball. And I was always used to joke around with her because I was trying to think who can we have as another catcher, because really at the time Nala was our only catcher, but we wanted to move Nala out to the field, to help us out. We were actually going to try to move her out in the outfield, but then when Crimson come to town, they weren't really hitting a lot of balls out there, so we figured they were going to try the short game. So we decided, hey, we need to put our best athlete at first base. I know that doesn't sound conventional and right, but we just did it. And Nala's been able to get some pop flies or little dinks that they try to get because she's just very athletic, and she's not going to mess the ball at first base. So, but again, we're blessed that Nala could play everything, but we were really blessed that Anna E could go out there and handle it and catch Crimson and do a good job with it, because now we have Anna E for 3 more years after that.
Yeah, she is a real asset as a catcher, and that was a really good catch, and to kind of end the ball game with and to have to get back that quickly, to get back to that screen to give yourself a chance to catch that, and she just does an excellent job. She's kind of a rock back there.
Yeah, and another thing, great kid, just smiling all the time, joking around all the time. She's just another great kid. I mean, like I said, that has been what's been so much fun about this year's. I know I keep saying it over and over again, but these kids are awesome. They, if you could come out and watch them and support them, oh my gosh, they deserve it. They're good kids, every single one of them. I wouldn't trade any of them because they've just been they go to practice, we have fun. We go play, we have fun. We're on the bus, we have fun. We go shopping, we have fun. We just have fun everywhere, laughing, joking, and they, what's good about them too is sometimes I had to get on them a little bit, but they're fine with it. They know that we got to put up. We got to stay focused for 7 innings. And sometimes the game gets intense, but they have to stay focused, and my job is to make sure they get focused. So I feel like, because I don't really get on them all the time, but if I do, they've been very good at accepting it and just going on and moving on, because they know that I love them, care about them. We all do, all our coaches do, and it's pleasant to be able to get to coach these kids and try to make them understand the importance of being focused, but also understand that we've got to be intense and keep our intensity going. We can't just give a game away because we want to. We got to go win a game, not just try to not get beat. And that's what I think we've been doing really well on this whole streak that we've been on. Is we've been going out there trying. We've been focused on winning it. And sometimes in years past we've had teams that we were just going to try to hang on and survive, and then hopefully we'll win the game. No, these girls are getting after it, trying to win the game every inning.
And the thing that will often prove the difference in these playoffs is your defense. There are a lot of times when there's a lot of pressure on that defense, and you'll have some of those moments where the ball gets thrown away or booted, and all kinds of things happen. But a pretty good night, I think maybe one error.
Yeah, and Nicole Higgins made a great play out in left field.
Oh, gosh, what a
catch.
Oh,
my gosh, and we needed that then. And what a play. I mean, and she caught that ball the time. I made sure I watched it, and she caught it. And thank God the umpire was looking and paying attention too. And, what a catch. And we had to have that at that time. So that's just another big play throughout the whole sequence of 7 innings. I always talk about it's not about 7 innings. It's what happens in those 7 innings. And that was one play what happened in those 7 innings that made that game so special.
And one of my favorite plays, I'm sure it's just the way it was drawn up by whoever works with your infielders, the old standard 5 to 6 to 3 play. Ball was hit very hard, and Addison Cadell gets a glove on it, and it goes right to Paris Pickett, who rifles to first, and it wasn't even close.
No, another big play. I mean, like I said, favor. I mean, gosh almighty, that ball just clipped, went to Paris. We needed that out right then at that time. And you could just tell, like, some of the air went out of their cells when that play just happened.
Oh, yeah.
Just like, psh, and that's what you got to do. You got to put it to them. You got to take it to them. I mean, you got to be competitive and get after and make those plays. And again, favor. we just were able to make that play right there, and you could tell that play right there took a lot of zest out of themselves at that time.
And another big play, too, when you had your sun field in the first couple of innings, there was a real smash hit to center field, and you could tell Harper was trying to read it, and the sun's out there and everything, but she catches them. She caught a couple of blasts out there early in the ball game.
Yes.
Big catches.
Yeah, I mean, because those things get through. They're at least a double, and keep them out of scoring position. So, again, those are big plays, too, that you have to make. And, right now, the time, I kind of get real leery when playing at 6 o'clock because of that sun and that factor. And, I was thinking about it because I get superstitious, and when I get to the game, I go walk the field twice, and that's just what I do, and go pray. And as I was walking the field, and I just noticed how bright that sun was when I was in the outfield, actually in center and walking, down the warning track. But those are the things you have to deal with, right now, because the sun is, when you start to have a 6 o'clock start, 6:30 start, the sun is really just laying right there on you.
Yeah, and I was wondering who was really going to be impacted, and the way it was coming in from the side on that field, it could be your third baseman, your shortstop, your left fielder, your center fielder, or maybe even your second baseman. I saw their second baseman in warm-up shading her eyes, trying to see what was going on at first base. And so, that's the kind of thing when if you played sports and you're out there and you're looking for the ball and you look and all you can see is the sun beaming you in the eye and you lose that ball. And next thing, it might bounce off your head or something.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a scary thing when you can't see that ball coming up.
That's true. And like I said, that weather, I mean, the sun is a big factor. The other night it wasn't because it was cloudy and misty on Wednesday night. I didn't even think nothing of it, but it was a lot warmer on Friday. I was sweating. We were all in shorts and sweating. We were kind of chilly and cold on Wednesday, but, sunny and hot on yesterday. So, weather is a factor, and the sun definitely is a factor. So, I'm going to probably be more aware of kind of the times that we start too, because I didn't really even think about it until I saw that. But we wanted to have that 6:30 start because of the travel.
Yeah.
Just didn't want to make it a late.
And you guys
night.
get a lot of that. I mean, the standard start time for softball is 6 o'clock. And so I remember in a lot of games at Lady Cat Park, that first baseman, with that trying to that ball throw from third and trying to see that where's that ball.
When you talk about a home field advantage, don't think the district coaches don't know where it's hurting early. Tarrant tells me, hey, this part I know our field, and I know where our field where we can execute some things if we can because of the sun. You play that sun, you play it to your advantage.
Yeah.
Don't think the other coaches don't do it themselves too, because it's just, and of course it depends on the time change and how the sun sets. It's not like that early, but when you get in the district, it's just sun's on just blast, and you just got to deal with it.
Yeah, that 6:30 start, that you used to that happens all year long. That's the schedule. Let's take third and final internal break, and we'll be back to wrap it up with Coach David Carrillo so he can figure things out with Lovejoy and actually have a bit of a weekend rather than worry about going to White House today.
Good, Coach? I'm telling you, I was thinking about that this morning. Yes, I was going to dread it, but we had to. I'd be on that bus, but thankful we're not.
All right, very good. Back with more right after this. Back here on the Saturday Morning Coaches Show as we wrap it up for today with David Carrillo, Lady Cats softball coach. As once again, if you tuned in a little bit late, Lady Cats win last night in Rusk against Huntsville 7-5, win the series 2-0, now playing Lovejoy, Lucas Lovejoy, and that will be coming up this coming week, and details still to be worked out, and Coach Carrillo, once he gets everything nailed down, will let us know about it. Coach, I don't have too many more questions, but as you think back to the very beginning of the season, did you see the potential for this group of girls to be where they are right now?
Actually, I did after the scrimmages, and we started playing early after the snowvid. When we got all snowed in and had to hibernate for a week, when we got to Allen, our second week, I saw some good things. I mean, I was really concerned about our hitting, like I've said every week, but I still saw some good things. And I would tell the girls constantly, we have a chance to be really, really good, because Crimson is a special kid that we have, and I knew if we could score some runs, we're going to be tough to beat. And I kept preaching that to them. And I think it's got to a point where our girls battle and fight, and they believe right now that they can get it done. It doesn't matter who we're playing, and that's where I was wanting to get to, because you have to sell it to those kids. I can sit here and say all I want, Coach Dorner, or all our coaches, Coach Hatcher, Coach Aguilon, but the kids have to buy into it, and I feel right now at this moment, and they started buying into it probably about a month ago, where they thought, hey, we could be really good and we can win this district. Even after the Hallsville thing, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Let's just go. It's been really a special year. I just think of all the things that we've got to accomplish and the fun things that we, got to have and do with this group. Round 3. Tradition ice cream truck got to come last week, so that was fun, and different things like that. It's not about just the games for me or for those kids. It's about having those little treats and those special times, and like I said, you have moments in practice that you get to laugh and joke around, and it's been a family, and we just have a lot of fun. I mean, it's all work, but we do play too. So I just think if you keep them loose, you don't have to beat them down and browbeat them. I just think our kids, I know our softball program has responded like that, and again, we keep our eyes fixed on Jesus, and that's what we're going to do. And you're going to hit with the preaching, you're going to get it, you're going to learn life lessons, and then you're going to go play the game. And then, apply those life lessons in the game, or you're going to learn life lessons away from the game. So, that's kind of how we've been doing things, and I've been doing those things for years, and it's worked for us, and I just really don't know any other way to do it. And, again, we've been very blessed with the program and the tradition that we've built the last 15 years, and this season, again, has been very special. And I look back at a lot of things, and, as your coach, you don't kind of think about, because you think about moment by moment, but I'm going to look back and see even more things that were done and that were really special, and these kids will look back too. Right now, I just know they're focused on next round, who's next, let's go, and that's where we need to be right now. We need to be focused on the present moment right now, and that's where we're at, and hopefully we can get through this one, and then we can go play for a possible state, tournament. And that'd be awesome. And, would I ever thought I'd have said that at the beginning of the year? I'll be honest, no. But did I think we could be very good? Yes. So, it just happens. And at this time of year, it's kind of like you said with the football run in 08, you got to have a little bit of luck, a little bit of favor, and we've been having that so far. So we're going to continue to play on. And now I think we really believe we can get to where we need to get to.
And I think you talk about team development. I remember after the first 2 district games, there was the Hallsville loss, and then a 1-0 win at Longview. A very tough time hitting. I don't think the ball ever left the infield for us, but we managed like 3 hits or something on the infield, and Nyla Lindley scored on a wild pitch. But, the question then was, do we have enough hitting? And I think, as you've talked about, the hitting has developed. And last night, if we had to come in there and couldn't hit the ball, we were going to be toast last night.
Yes, and like I said, we've just kind of changed, like I said, the way we do things in practice, and we changed it after actually the Longview game. Like I said, I say it all the time. On that Monday, we trying to change the things, and I say it all the time. Pitch machine kind of removed that, just started doing different things hitting wise, because again, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, and you're getting the same result. We knew we had to do it didn't matter. We just had to change some of the things that we were doing, and now we're kind of in a routine now. Kind of know what we've been doing on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, because we're at that time now where we just need to stay loose. We need to stay focused on working on hitting, especially outside pitching and things like that. But just to stay loose and just keep working. The drills and stuff and the fine tuning is really done. It's time now to go perform and go get after it right now, because now you're looking at days. You don't have a lot of time to get ready, and we still do our we still basically do our practice schedule the way we've been doing for the last 4 or 5 weeks, and just staying in routine. And the kids know, and we don't browbeat them. We don't keep them for 5 hours. We're going to keep them for about an hour and a half, and we're going to roll. And we're going to make sure we maximize that time. Again, like I always say, it's not just an hour and a half. What happens in that hour and a half. You got to have just good quality time with those kids, and it's not about practicing who can practice the longest. It's what you're doing in that hour and a half that's getting things done. And I always believe this too, that they're fresh right now. In the playoffs, it's supposed to be fun, and I think just keeping them fresh, relaxed, and it has been fun. So our journey continues. We're looking forward to playing Lovejoy next week, and then we're taking day by day, being our present moment, and let's roll.
And just think about all the programs across the state of Texas and how few are left. to be able to have these practices and to concentrate on these details and all these other things, there's a lot of teams would like to trade places with you right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been a blessing. Like I said, I would have. It's just been amazing how blessed we really are. You know, even with those past teams that we've had that we made it to the third round, and you know, we've always seemed to get tripped up by the eventual state champion or the eventual person that you know wins it all. You know, but to be where we're at with this group of kids, you know, it's been a godsend, and I'm very thankful for that, because these kids, like I said, are good kids. They practice hard, they play hard, and they're just fun to be around too, you know. And you know, like all these other groups before, we're not just playing for the 2021 teams. We're playing for all of them that's been past Lady Cats. And, you know, deep down inside, my heart goes out to the 2019 team, because I feel like it was a shortened season, not by our doing, you know, but again, you know, you deal with circumstances that we had to deal with.
And then terrible situation last year, so, you know, it's one thing or the other. And I did see some of those ex-players up in the stands last night. Very good to always see them, and you reflect. You know, you think about the great plays that they made and what good players they were, and so really, you know, when those young ladies are out there with Lady Cats across the front of that jersey, the uniform, you know, they are playing for all John McCullough's teams and all those teams in the past.
Yes, and I tell you what, it's neat. I can't tell you how many text messages I've got from former players saying, you know, great job, good luck, keep it going, coach. You know, they're very excited for this group here too, you know, and it's a good thing, because you feel like you have created a family atmosphere throughout your program. And as a coach, you look back at that, and you know, I want kids to come back. I want them to be talking about the things that they experienced and the life lessons they've learned, and the memories that they had that they were good about this journey. And it's fun when you can have those kids come back and say good things about the program, and be positive, and root these kids on this 2021 team just as much as they would root on, you know, themselves when they were playing. So those are the neat things and the fun things as a coach that I really enjoy to see, and it's all about the journey. And every journey is going to end at one time or another during this season. This is going to end, but you want it to make it the best experience that they can, and you want to get these kids the most life lessons learned that they can. And again, it's just been an amazing run and amazing thing for the last 15 years. It's been unbelievable, and again, we're just blessed, and we're going to continue to go try to do the things right, you know. And you know, I always say I only have really one rule, and that's to do right, and that's a simple rule to remember. And I say, if you don't know what do right is, call me up and I'll tell you. So those are the things that, like I said, I just want the kids to understand that there is more to this game than just the game. And if I can get that across to them, we've done our job, you know, because it's fun winning, and it's fun getting after it. It's fun competing. But again, the ultimate scheme of things, you're playing for an audience of one, and that one is Jesus and God, and that's what it is. And how blessed are we to be able to have that opportunity to show off the skills in which He's given us.
All right. Thank you very much, Coach. Glad to have you again today, and always welcome, of course. And once again, Lady Cats have gone further now than any Lady Cats team in history. I think we can say that. It seems like I haven't heard anything to the contrary. I only go back just 1 year more than Coach Carrillo, back about 16 years, and I certainly, you know, this is the pinnacle that I've seen, and so I'm pretty sure to say that this team has gone further than any Lady Cats team before. And so it's going to be fun to watch. It has been, and we look to many, many more weeks. Thank you for joining us on Saturday morning. I'm Don Julian. So long, everybody.